How's it going, everyone? The PlayStation Store is running a plethora of sales, and let's be honest, I haven't done a really great job in covering it all, but let's play some catch-up. We've got games under the price of $3, yes. We're gonna go through all of the sales. Now, the Capcom sale as well as the Retro sale are ending on, I believe it's the 22nd. March Madness, it's not March Madness, it's called, what is it called? The Mega March sale, I'm sorry. This ain't college basketball. Mega March and games under $15 is ending on March 15th, so bear that in mind. I'll let you guys know as we go through the deals when the deals are ending. Just a couple off of the newer sale. So let's get started. Metro 2033 Redux is 85% off for $2.99. You can play the game with PlayStation Plus Premium. That is top tier, so bear that in mind, but I think Metro 2033 is a great game if you want to get into Metro. This is the game you play. Great sci-fi, atmospheric first-person shooter, solid story as well. Yeah, just a good game, and it's not too lengthy. I know you guys have been playing some, lengthy open-world games to say the least, so, a more focused single-player, story-driven first-person shooter. I think it's something you guys are going to enjoy. $3, not a bad deal, but if you do want to wait for the Redux collection to go on sale, yeah, that's not a bad option either. Next up, we got Just Cause 3, 85% off for $2.99. Just Cause 3 is a pretty solid open world game that is just filled with mayhem. Now, this game actually had quite a few technical issues when it initially came out. That's just going to be a reality when you're talking about an open world game with this much chaos, especially on the PS4 versus the 5. But it's still a very enjoyable game. Bear in mind that this is a game that you go into strictly for the gameplay. You probably are not going to care about the story literally at all, and I think they know that. Like, Just Cause is a game you go in, maybe a long day of work, maybe you just want to mentally unwind or just uncheck mentally. Just Cause 3 is a pretty good game for that, and I think for $3, it's a lot of fun from that standpoint. Shadow Warrior, 90% off for $3, another really solid deal. A fast-paced FPS. I would more so say, rather than an FPS, like an action-based first-person title, because it's a lot of slicing and dicing, very bloody, very gruesome. I would say Shadow Warrior 2 is the stronger game, and there is a Shadow Warrior 3, of course, but that's way too highly priced in my opinion. But a fast-paced action game, again, the story didn't really hook me with this one as well, but from a gameplay standpoint, really strong. Next up, we got Super Meat Boy, 90% off for $1.49. I would say one of the more iconic downloadable titles of all time, to be perfectly honest. Like, this is a game that when it came out, I remember everybody was fiending on it, and it's a very fun time. Maybe it also inspires a couple broken controllers, but nevertheless, it's a precision-based platformer that is incredibly replayable. At the same time, yes, for some people it might get a little bit frustrating, but guess what? You're paying $1.49 here for it, and I think for that price, it's really good. A charming art style that is aged very pleasantly, to say the least. I mean, it's a lot of splattering and a lot of blood, so take it for what you will. But for $1.49, it's a game that's pretty addictive, and I would say it's a pretty good buy. Next up, we got Strider, 80% off for $2.99. This is available in PlayStation Plus Premium. This is a part of the Capcom sale that is running right now, which will be ending on the 22nd. Strider's a game that I really enjoyed, and I played it way back when it came out as a PlayStation Plus title. I want to say in 2014. It's been a long time, but yeah, right when this game came out. February of 2014 is when it dropped as a Plus title. I would imagine that most of you guys, I would say, weren't Plus subscribers back then, but when the PS4 dropped, you had to have a Plus subscription to play online. So maybe some of you guys have it. Check through your library. If you do, go download it. You won't even have to pay anything. It is available through Plus Premium, as I mentioned. But yeah, a throwback of an action platformer. I wasn't a big Strider fan growing up, but this was my first foray into the franchise, really, and I had a great time with this. It's a little bit challenging at times, but if you're a fan of action platformers, you're probably gonna have a pretty good time with this. So definitely go give this one a look. Again, if you like throwback action platformers, something to sink your teeth into there. Next up, we have the supernatural mystery title and Murdered Soul Suspect, which is down to $1.99. Now, this is a game that I often give a mention to whenever it's on sale. I did pay like the full price for it. I think it was 50 or 60 bucks. I initially bought it on PC, and now I have the PlayStation version as well. Nonetheless, it was definitely not worth that price point, but at $2, It's actually a game that's rather interesting. I really like the setting and the atmosphere to the game. It's got an interesting story. I won't say the gameplay is anything revolutionary, but for $1.99, if you do want like this mystery detective game, I think you'll end up enjoying it for what it is. Again, don't expect something groundbreaking, but $1.99 and you get a decent little game here, and I think it's something that's worthwhile to check out. Not super lengthy either, so you can jump in, you know, play through it, and then move on to the next game. Next up, we do have Outlast 1 and 2. Outlast 1 at $1.99, Outlast 2 at $2.99. Outlast 1 was kind of revolutionary in a lot of aspects to horror games. Like, I remember when Outlast 1 initially came out, it was a game that a lot of people saw as a title that really was a step further in terms of horror experiences and really being, like, shocking in terms of horror aspects. At this point, maybe a lot of the shock factor has worn off, and especially when people play, like, Outlast 2, I feel like that has dissipated a little bit. Still, as survival horror titles, they are really solid. And again, it's not Halloween time at this point, but if you want to pick them up, maybe have them in your library until October and then check them out at a more timely part of the year, be my guest. And Outlast Trinity is on sale. That's $5.89, so that might be something you want to check out instead of buying the game separately. So there you go with that. Solid pickups regardless. Next up, Darkest Dungeon is 90% off for $2.49. Unfortunately, the Ancestral Edition is not on sale right now, but $2.49 for Darkest Dungeon is a really solid deal. This roguelike RPG, very interesting from a gameplay standpoint. It has some mechanics that didn't vibe with everybody, but still a pretty challenging game, a pretty addicting game, and a pretty replayable game as well. Darkest Dungeon 2 is in development right now, so hopefully that turns out fairly well. But if you want something that's a little bit more on the challenging side, a roguelike RPG, Darkest Dungeon is going to offer you something pretty good at $2.49. I don't think you can go wrong with that. Lastly, a couple more deals to mention. Psychonauts, 70% off for $2.99. Like, this is a classic platformer that a lot of people rave about. This action-adventure platformer. I mean, there's a reason why the clamoring was there for a Psychonauts 2 for years and years, and ultimately, Double Fine did pay that off. But Psychonauts 1, a throwback for sure. Like, visually, it's not going to leave you blown away, but it is still an enjoyable game. Like, a lot of these throwback platformers, like, you go back and play them today, yes, are they clunky? Yes, are they a bit janky at times? Like, you play some of the old Jak and Daxters, you play some of the old Ratchet and Clanks, they absolutely have that jank and a little bit out of that age, but they also have a lot of charm, and I feel like the same can be applied to Psychonauts as well. And Psychonauts 2 is excellent on top of that, so definitely something to check out after you play through Psychonauts 1. And lastly, we do have State of Mind, another one of those lower key titles that I played that I constantly give a recommendation to. Obviously, it is very rough around the edges, but if you look at the game and you find the incredibly unique art style, something that you can gravitate towards from a thematic standpoint, a narrative standpoint, it is incredibly compelling from that regard. Is it completely cohesive? No, but it has a lot of elements that I thought worked really well and pretty interesting in that. And if you like these sci-fi games that kind of have this grim and bleak reality, and I feel like a lot of people these days are talking about stuff like this, I think State of Mind is a pretty interesting game to play through. And again, at this price point, $1.99, I think it's a worthwhile pickup. And that's gonna do it for me. Again, games under the price of $3. You know, super cheap games, you just got a couple bucks lying around in your PlayStation Store wallet. Stuff to check out. That's gonna do it for me. Links to everything, as always, in the description box below. We'll try to catch up on everything before all the sales end. So, yeah, and of course, you guys know how the game is played. New sales will rotate in. That'll do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.